We all know how YouTubers get into various feuds with other content creators every now and then. While they used to settle it by making diss songs about each other, things have changed over the past few years. Ever since then, YouTubers have been settling their feud by getting in a boxing match. This not only brings out lots of attention to them, but also helps them brag about knocking their opponent out. Recently, Jake Paul earned a well-deserved knockout victory over his opponent, Nate Robinson. Since then, fans have been wondering who would be the next influencer to sort their feud out in the ring. This is where the Ace family's Austin McBroom and TikToker Bryce Hall come into the picture. Before we break it down, don't forget to hit the like button and turn the bell notification on. Now, back to where we were. After winning his fight against Nate Robinson, Jake promised to face UFC champion Conor McGregor, to which Austin McBroom responded by telling him to forget Conor and get into the ring with him. He didn't just stop at Jake Paul, but also addressed his brother, Logan Paul, and TikTok superstar Bryce Hall by continuing to mock him for giving him excuses to dodge the match. McBroom even went ahead and challenged every other creator by saying, "Who's ever willing to fight, smoke a holler at me, 'cause these other little boys are straight duck." After being radio silent about this entire debacle, Bryce Hall soon responded by reposting Austin's call-out post and telling him to shut the hell up on his Insta story. In fact, Logan Paul also hit Austin back by commenting on McBroom's post and mocking him for wearing a hideous muscle shirt without having any muscle inside. Now, let's get into how it all started. Influencers taking their feud into the ring started on August 25th in 2018 when Logan Paul and Jake brought KSI and his brother Deji into a pair of boxing matches. The match started with Jake Paul fighting against Deji, which led to the main event, Logan versus KSI. Jake actually ended up defeating Deji in the 5th round. Since then, Jake has been really into boxing. In fact, on December 21st, 2019, Jake announced that he would be making his debut in professional boxing by going against fellow YouTuber and Isan Gibb, also known as Gibbs. Their match happened on January 20th, 2020 in Miami, which co-featured the WBO light middleweight title between professional boxers Demetrius Andrade and Luke Keeler. Jake ended up winning this fight in the 1st round with a time of 2 minutes and 18 seconds. Since then, Jake has been trying to work hard as a rookie boxer. However, we all know how Jake Paul got into a heated dispute with Floyd Mayweather just a few weeks ago. This news was quite impossible to miss as everyone was talking about it. Soon, to Paul's surprise, something similar happened yet again. But this time, it was some other influencers who did it. Austin McBroom and Bryce Hall, to be specific. Both got into a pretty physical altercation during their press conference. Since their boxing match is just around the corner, it was evident that they would try to stir up some drama to get more attention and spotlight on them in order to get more hype for their match. However, while looking at their Brawl footage, it seems like their match wouldn't be anything like we have seen before. The date for their match has now been set as June 12th, and this has been building up lots of heat on both sides. Not just between them, but also between their fans, as each other wants their faves to win the ring. A press conference was set on May 18th so that fighters could meet each other and answer some Q&A. Everything was initially going well, but then the event took its worst turn when Bryce started trash talking. And soon, both Bryce and Austin started having a word war. One thing led to another, and next thing we know, Bryce is marching towards Austin with his fist raised high. This caused massive chaos in the entire venue to the point that people had to interfere in between to stop this brawl from getting out of hand. However, this entire incident wasn't enough to make our internet stars stop trash talking. Thus, they took it to Twitter to worsen the situation by having a war of words on social media. Every fan around the world is on the edge of their seat, waiting for June 12th to come by so they can witness one of the greatest matches of content creators. This massive brawl went extremely viral all over social media, which not only caught the attention of T channels, but also of some well-known celebrities like KSI and the Paul brothers. Since they have been the most prominent influencers who have been in boxing matches themselves, they had quite a lot to say about the entire showdown that happened at the press conference. Of course, no one can deny how this fight between Bryce Hall and Austin McBroom is strikingly similar to the one between KSI, Logan, Jake, and Joe Weller. In fact, fans have been speculating that Bryce is trying to copy Jake through his instigating attitude. People think Bryce knew even before going into the press conference that he'd end up fighting someone. Although we believe, despite having some similarities with Jake, Bryce has his own character and flavor, which is hard to deny. Since the beginning, he has been known to stir up the pot to create drama with others. Even though fans still don't know if Bryce Hall was actually mad at Austin. Whether he really attacked him because of it, or he just did it to get more hype before the actual fight. Nonetheless, it all worked in the end because everyone's talking about this incident. Whether you hate Bryce's guts or love him, whatever it may be, you'll be watching the boxing match to know how it all goes down. Most of the other boxers present at the conference commented on the brawl by saying that the only reason they are doing it is money, and none of them are taking this profession seriously. In fact, Jake Paul also discussed this entire altercation on his brother's podcast by saying, "This is great for the sport of boxing, and I support them. But the thing is that they need to take it seriously, but a lot of them aren't." Jake went further on and said how some of them are busy going out and partying all night rather than training and improving their skills. He also mentioned how he was worried that some of them would end up like Nate Robinson if they don't take this profession seriously. He then added that if someone really wants to do it and get that bag of money, then go ahead and do it. After which Logan chimed in and said that even though he's happy that people are participating in this sport, he just thinks that it won't work out for them. Logan also believes that they are just highly overconfident about how many tickets they'll end up selling. While listening to their podcast, it seemed like Jake was more accepting of the boxing matches between TikTok stars and YouTubers as compared to his brother Logan Paul. Many fans speculate the only reason Logan is looking down on this idea is perhaps that he has his own boxing match against Floyd Mayweather on June 6th. So, he must be under pressure to sell a lot more tickets than YouTuber versus TikTok matches. As a matter of fact, it is believed that Logan Paul was the one who was going to fight against Austin McBroom, but ended up having a match with Floyd Mayweather. So, Austin decided to have a boxing match against Bryce Hall. While Logan has a mixed reaction, Jake Paul has been a massive fan of influencers' boxing matches since the start because he fell in love with this sport by having a similar type of match himself. Therefore, he thinks that it's incredible that influencers are getting involved, as it not only helps the sport, but some can fall in love with it just like he did. It wasn't only the Paul brothers who had reacted to the heated altercation between Austin McBroom and Bryce Hall, and several other renowned YouTubers such as Deji and KSI had a lot more to say about this entire fight that happened in the press conference. But that's all for another video. With that, we have reached the end of this video. But before we end this, I want to know your thoughts on this entire situation. Do you think Bryce is copying Jake? And who do you think will win the fight on June 12th? Either way, it's gonna be a fun match. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you guys real soon.